Now available.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to Now Available, the only podcast about streaming services on the internet. I'm one of your hosts, Adam Howard, alongside my good co-host, as always, Rikki Ettinger.
Thank you. Thanks
You're
a lot for
welcome.
that intro. As you can see, we are both in our prospective taxis.
Yep.
I'm not quite sure what mine is. Some sort of luxury. Very, very
No, we're in the-
luxurious back here.
No, we're in our Ubers now.
Oh yeah. So I'm driving a, of course a, almost said Rolex. I'm driving a Rolex. I don't know what you're driving. Like, looks like a box van of some sort.
I was gonna say I couldn't think of any other types of watches. I was gonna say another type of watch. I was trying to think of the one they uses in James Bond, but I couldn't think of it.
It's
I don't remember now.
I almost said Taskmaster.
Isn't it like the Omega something or?
Yeah, Omega.
Hang on. What
Seamaster.
Yes, something like that.
Ocean Master.
No, that's Aquaman. The Omega Seamaster.
Oh,
This
see?
is Seamaster. 007 edition men's watch.
That's pretty dope. That's actually very
Omega.
dope.
Yeah, it was Rolex and then Omega.
Was it like a $70,000 watch?
I mean, for the authentic replica, it's only about like 10 grand.
Oh, it's not bad.
No, it's not bad at all.
Well, I mean, for a watch, it's pretty bad.
I mean, yeah.
So before we started all this troubleshooting and trying to get this janky show on the hypothetical road, I did find I found this. It's a readmission ticket.
For what?
To the movie theater. So I must have gone to the movies one time and something happened.
Oh, and you got a free ticket to go
Yeah,
back?
so they gave me this free ticket.
Hell yeah, dude. Go see Tenet.
So I was thinking, yeah, what movie do you like? Okay, what movie has to come to the theater for you to be like, okay, I'm for sure going? Or what movie would you pay the most for to see at home?
I think the answer to both those is probably Tenet.
Yeah.
Because that's right around the corner, and I'm super excited for it. I'm trying to I don't know really many off the top of my head that got pushed, because I know there was like Wonder Woman got pushed, Black Widow got pushed, No Time to Die got pushed. I don't know. I mean, it didn't get pushed, but like I'd pay a lot of money to go see the Batman.
Ooh.
That movie looks so sick. Did you see the trailer for it?
Yeah, I watched Fandom. I was like on it all day.
I just caught like the highlights because that was the day that I went to Ohio with my brother to get a puppy. So
Oh, cool. Okay.
yeah, so I was like, my dad had run out, so like every time we'd stop someplace, I quickly connect to the Wi-Fi and see what was going on.
Oh my god, it was so cool. Yeah,
I'm excited for the Snyder Cut though too.
Oh, that's gonna be so cool. Like, what a cool idea. Hey, how many other directors have had their movie come out that was like janky or not what they wanted?
Right.
And now here's an opportunity to, hey, we'll give you a redo. Go ahead, you can redo it. Like, how cool.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think Tenet would be my pick too. I'm definitely. It sucks because it is coming out, but like, I'm not risking it to go see it in theater.
Our theaters aren't even open. What I keep doing is
Aren't some
They
of them
are?
open? I think some of them
Some
are.
of them might be, but I don't know if any that are like near here. Anyways,
Oh, I thought they
know
were
like
reopened.
I think they are in other states. I think New York is still holding it on it,
Oh,
to the best of my knowledge. But what I'm hoping for is I keep checking the drive-in to see if they're gonna show Tenet. Because I'm gonna be like,
oh,
hell yeah, we're gonna go rock that.
oh, that would actually be
That's
really
what.
fun. That'd be
Yeah.
something cool. I had an email the other day from Alamo, and they were like, "Oh, you can do these like renting parties where you can rent out the theater, and you can invite all your buddies, and they'll like cater it and stuff." I was like, "Oh, that's so fucking cool!" But it started at 150 a person.
$150 a person
Yeah,
to
but
be in the theater.
and
Holy
you could
crap.
pick movies I think that were already out. So like
Ooh.
I couldn't be like, "Hey, let me grab 10 of my friends. We're all gonna go see Tenet, 10 and it's 10 grand each." But I think you could go see like, I don't know, Back to the Future or whatever other goofy movie you want. Go see Taxi Driver for $150.
I would not pay that much to go see Taxi Driver in a theater.
No, no. All right.
No.
Yeah. So what's the show about? What are we doing?
What's the show about? Oh, okay. So the show we came up with a show, like I said on the top, that we're the only show on the internet that talks about streaming services. So there's
Only
that.
show. Yep. No
Yep.
other show does that.
Yep. And to keep it fair, each week we switch it up and go to a different streaming service to watch whatever the heck we're watching that week, which we don't know until the end of the show when we randomly have the internet choose what movie we're watching for us.
That
Um,
that might be like the best idea gimmick like we've ever had is let's hit a random movie name generator. Let's spin the roulette wheel, and then it's like
yeah,
it's fair for everybody because it's not like, "Oh, we're only watching movies that I want to watch or only movies that you want to watch." Like it's
right.
just random. How cool.
Yeah, it is a really cool idea.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So, so if you couldn't tell by our vehicles we're riding in today, we are
Here we go.
we are talking about the Martin Scorsese 1976 film Taxi Driver. It stars. Okay, let me get my notes out now so I can read all this stuff off.
So it can be
It,
accurate, yeah.
yeah, so it like I said, directed by Martin Scorsese. It the cast includes Robert De Niro, Jodie Foster, Sybil Shepherd, Harvey Keitel, Peter Boyle, and then I didn't write down the other dude's name, but other
And
like
another guy.
the other guy. Um, the music was by Bernard Herrmann, who like I saw that this was a posthumous Oscar he was nominated for,
Hmm.
and I went back and was looking because I thought like, oh, I assume he probably died young because this is an early Scorsese movie, probably didn't have anybody that big on it. But he did like the music for like Psycho and The
Oh shit.
Birds and um Citizen Kane and like a bunch of other like old movies.
Hmm.
I'm like, holy crap.
That's so sick. He didn't win anything for those movies?
I don't know if he won anything for those movies. I think he did win some Oscars,
Hmm.
but for Taxi Driver he was nominated but didn't win.
Oh.
Which I will skip to the Oscar nominees for this movie, which include Best Actor, Best Supporting Actress, Best Music, and then Best Picture were the noms
Oh
for
shit.
that year. Didn't win anything. Um,
Really?
nope.
Who
Just like The Irishman.
Oh my god. That's messed up. Wait, so it was 70, what'd you say? 76? 78?
Yep,
Uh
76.
so who won? Did you
That
look
is a
that
great
up?
question. No.
Oh.
1976. 76.
Hey, cool notes. Do you have any other notes on stuff that you don't know about? Like what the
Oh,
fuck?
okay. So, the winner that year for Best Picture was One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, so that was the case for that. Let's see who won. Oh no, wait, hang on. I'm looking at the wrong year. this should be right. View more. No, I don't want highlights. I just want the lists.
Give me the highlights.
Okay. Okay. So the actor in a leading role that won it was Peter Finch for Network. Never heard of it.
Never heard of it.
There was another dude from Network nominated, and then also Sylvester Stallone for Rocky was nominated for Best Picture, or not Best Picture, Best Actor.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it was Jodie Foster who was nominated for Best Actress in a Supporting Role, for and she was 12 too. That's crazy. Art direction. No.
I didn't even realize that was Jodie Foster.
I know.
Like, this is probably my second or third time watching this movie.
Mm-hmm.
The first time I watched it, I remember not even liking it and just being like, I don't get it. This is dumb.
Honestly, I'm still at that kind of point. Like, I get it, but like, I'm not like huge on the movie.
Yeah, and watching it now, it just feels like impossible. Like, there's no way that world could exist.
Well, yeah.
Like, it's so. True too. Oh, it's so dated. I mean, some of it's cool like that, but other parts of it's like, ooh. Also, I didn't realize that was my dude. Keitel. Yeah, my dude Harvey. I didn't realize it was him.
I know. This time I realized, like, I was doing research for it and I saw it was him, and like then I couldn't unsee that it was him.
Even with the long hair, he looks. Oh my god, he looks so cool. He's probably my favorite part of the movie.
Yeah. Right. So and Jerry Goldsmith won the original score Oscar for The Omen.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Another good one.
Yeah, so I think that's. Oh, who won Best Picture? Rocky won Best Picture that year. It beat out All the President's Men, Bound for Glory, Network, and Taxi Driver.
I can see that.
Yeah.
There isn't a Travis statue in New York City.
That's true. That's very true.
Could you fucking imagine?
That would be awful.
It's just him looking in the mirror like, "You talking to me?"
It's just no. It's not. It's him looking at himself, like two statues.
Yeah.
And then like a mirror between them.
Oh my! Dude, he's the worst. Okay.
Okay. So the film was released February 8th, 1976, with a budget of $1.9 million.
Holy shit!
It ended up grossing $28.4 million, being the 17th highest grossing film of 1976. It won the Palme d'Or in 1976. It's the same award that Parasite just won this past year from the Cannes Film Festival.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I saw that and I'm like, oh, okay, gotcha. And then Nori said that, and then so do you know any of the backstory for De Niro, like practice or like preparing for this role? Anything like that?
Yeah, didn't he lock himself in a room and then he sent a bunch of dead rats to his co-stars? I don't know. I'm pretty sure that's what Jared Leto. Yeah, same character. Yeah. No, I have no idea what he did.
So what he did was he spent 15-hour days driving cabs for a month in New York City.
Oh my
to prepare the role. Yeah.
God.
And then he also studied mental illness and recorded audio in an army base to learn like the West sort of accent.
Oh.
To like kind of give him the specific dialect he has.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so that's kind of like the big notes and big sort of
what he did. The
points and everything like that.
Like
all our fun facts for the moment.
I went to New York City when I was like 9. So it was like a long ass time ago. But just being there's so many fucking people. Like, I couldn't imagine driving a taxi for 15 hours.
Oh my god!
Like for
that
a
would
month.
Be so bad.
I could.
So bad.
Maybe do it one time, like and then by the end of it, all my hair would be gray, and I would be like, it would look like I smoked 1,000 cigarettes. Like, no fucking way.
I
That's
couldn't
insane.
even just imagine driving in New York City, period.
Yeah, it's a nightmare.
Mm-hmm.
There's like,
Like,
no, fuck that. Fuck that.
no.
No, I'm not doing
Nope.
it.
No. No way.
All right, so you want to get into, do you want to do like a, how like deep in the plot do you want to like recap? Because assuming that, like, okay, maybe not this one, but the next one, everyone will have watched the movie. So you don't
Yeah.
have to like, break it down. We all literally just watched it.
Right, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
This one I put the teaser up like a week ago on YouTube, so
Mm-hmm.
hopefully people would have seen it before we actually start talking about it, before we actually get like too into the weeds about the movie.
Uh-huh.
But yeah. So I guess we'll start with, before we go into plot, what did you think of Taxi Driver? Because you said it was your second or third time seeing the movie.
Um, like I said earlier, I didn't like it the first time I watched it. This time I liked it a little bit more. I don't like I like De Niro. I don't like Travis as like a character.
Right, yeah.
Like he's just, I don't know. I guess you can kind of see like where Rorschach comes from in The Watchmen. Like it's definitely
Right,
him.
yeah.
Like it's just a play on him. Same thing with like the Joker. It seems like they're all kind of, he might be the first one, and they all kind of like
Came
branch
afterward.
off. Yeah, came afterward.
Yeah.
But watching again, I liked Harvey Keitel, even though he's like a bad dude. Like he's not the good guy by any means.
Right.
But I just
Yeah.
like seeing him and being like, oh, that I know who he is. Like he's a good actor. I liked how dated it felt. Like when he goes into that
Mhm.
like that porno theater. Like you could never do that. That doesn't exist anymore. And
No.
he
Well,
buys all that like food at the
after hitting on the one, the
yeah,
one lady.
yeah. After being super annoying to that woman who's working, and she's clearly
What's her
not
name?
having
What's her
it.
name?
Yeah, and he's just harassing her. But he buys like he buys like a shit ton of snacks, a drink, and popcorn. It's like $3. Like what? And he's at
Yeah.
the dirty movie theater too. So it's not even like, hey, we're the only dirty theater in town. We're gonna jack these prices up. No, we're gonna cut you a deal. Like what the fuck?
Well, if you look at like the backgrounds when the taxi cab's driving around, you see all these theaters in it.
Oh
Like,
yeah, when he's
yeah.
driving down that one strip.
Yeah, there's a lot of those theaters,
Yeah.
which is kind of like what it was modeled after. It was like kind of that underbelly, underworld sort of feel.
It's just so gross. So I do like that. I do like the age of it, like that 70s vibe and stuff. I think
Mhm.
that's cool. But other than that, like I didn't really care for it. It's not something that I'm like, I'm about to go to bed. I need to put on something, or like, you know what I mean? It's not. I have a nice afternoon. I'm gonna relax and watch Taxi Driver. Like it's something
No.
that it's something that you have to search for and like be in the mood to watch.
Right, exactly. Yeah, it took me like 4 sittings to finish the movie or something like that.
That's awesome.
Because I watched part of it while I was traveling, and then
Mhm.
like I watched the other like half of it like in multiple parts, like leading up to like our actual like talking about the film. And I agree. This movie's considered by a lot of people a classic, and I don't really see it that much.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
what's classic about it other than like just because it's so old? You know what I mean? Like,
Right. I think it's because it's Scorsese, and
that
that's
makes
part of the
sense.
thing.
You know?
And I think it's part of the movie is kind of like this darker turning point in like American cinema and whatnot compared to like a couple things that came before it.
Okay.
And I think especially like following Vietnam and whatnot, and that kind of like disillusionment with like the establishment and what goes on and stuff like that is kind of part of it.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of like the reaction to it and whatnot. But yeah, I don't really get get why people are so infatuated with it.
Yeah.
It is just about, like you said, you don't like the main character, like you don't.
Like what's
'Cause-
his and what's his deal? Like Okay, so clearly there's like some mental issues going on. Um,
Right.
like
He's
maybe
an
I miss
insomniac.
yeah, maybe I missed something where he's like obsessed with that girl who doesn't want to talk to him, the one that works at the
Betsy.
yeah. So he's obsessed with her. She wants nothing to do with him, and then he just kind of like gives it up. Like at the end when he finally gets an opportunity and to like talk to her for like I don't know another chance, or she wants to talk to him, sort of thing.
Right.
And then he's just like,
Well,
"Well, see you later."
well, the whole ending thing. Like, have you read into anything about the ending and what different people say about it?
Oh no, not at
So
all.
there's two camps on the ending. There's the one camp that like it really happens and that stuff and it just takes place like normally. And then there's the other camp that it's his dying like dream that happens,
Oh.
which I think is which I like wrote like a page about like in my notes like
Hmm.
why or explaining like how it breaks down into like being a dream, even though Scorsese said that's not the case, but I think he's the way the movie plays at the very end and the way it's shot compared to the rest of the film, that's the only way it could be construed as, in my opinion, at least.
Okay.
Because that's like now afterwards you're gonna be like, I have to go rewatch the
I
ending now.
I actually kind of like that idea. Yeah, like he gets shot and then he doesn't because he gets shot in the fucking neck. Like
Right, yeah, that's why the first time I was shocked that like
yeah,
he made it.
so he gets shot in the neck and like even though it's not like through his neck or anything, but he's like
It's like
holding
the
it.
side of it, and he's like gushing and
Yeah,
everything
he's
like that.
bleeding everywhere, and he gets shot a couple other times. He gets like shot in the
Right,
arm and I think in the back.
right,
So that's actually I kind of like that idea better that he's dying or that he is dead, and that's like his.
right. Because what happens is like the police come in and the camera goes up and you get that like sky view of it,
Uh huh.
almost like he's left his body, and then the camera rises and leaves it,
Oh.
and then they cut to the other scene where now he's a hero and he's considered a hero, where with both Vietnam and trying to like save or like do the right thing before he didn't get
Mm.
that, and then with the and then if you compare him with the cab drivers at the end of the movie to earlier in the movie where they're all together versus him like kind of separate from them
Mm.
when they're in the diner, like that's him finally fitting in there, and then he finally gets Betsy, which until she gets out of the cab, you only see in the rear view reflection. You never like it doesn't show her straight on in the back seat, like showing that she's behind him, and Travis like he begins like smiling and like getting happier and stuff like that, like having this almost like feeling like he's gotten, why can't I think of the word, like he's gotten his kind of that he's finally like achieved what he wanted, and
Okay.
Betsy getting out of the cab is Travis leaving behind like his worldly desires and stuff like that, and then like that brief like noise like the and then it
Hmm.
it shows his face and cuts away is him like going into the great beyond or whatever the heck you want to call it.
Okay, that's actually really cool. Like that's actually sick. I love
Breaking
stuff like that.
breaking it down that way, that's the only like redeeming thing that like I see with this movie is that
Hmm.
ending, with it being like the way it's done from a filmmaking standpoint is really cool, but like the actual story and stuff like that, I'm not like the biggest fan of. Which like everybody talks up Taxi Driver and stuff like that, and even comparing it to the Joker, which came out recently,
Yeah.
like they're like, oh, it's just a ripoff, blah blah blah. But I think the Joker is a superior film to Taxi Driver. But that's just my opinion. I don't know what you think about that.
They do kind of feel the same, and I could definitely see like the inspirations as like how it's drawn from Taxi Driver.
Right.
Um, but I definitely like that idea a lot more. Like the ending,
Mhm.
having that kind of idea, like he did die or he is dying, and these are all his things.
Right.
All right.
Yeah.
So, do you want to do like a plot from like the beginning, or do you want to just like um kind
I
of
mean, we can
go
do
from here?
whatever. We can kind of go from wherever, because
All right.
like I think we're both in a what?
Let's yeah, sorry. Let's just like go over some of the things that we did like. This way we don't have to like
Okay.
recap the whole damn thing because it's kind of what is it?
Okay.
It's long.
It's 2 hours, just under 2 hours,
Oh, it
something
felt
like
like
that.
forever. It felt way longer than that. Holy shit.
Yes, it does. It feels like a long time.
Yeah. Like, what are your highlights?
Like I kind of went over the ending. I think is a big highlight in the way it's shot compared to the rest of the movie and stuff like that. The way it differences itself
Mm-hmm.
in kind of seeing into Travis's like hopes and desires and like what he's leaving behind because he has like done what he wanted and stuff like that. I think is cool. I think it's I think there is like sort of a consistency in his character to want kind of this almost normalistic like old style family that he can't ever find with because he tries to get that with Betsy with the like raising her up and putting her on a pedestal as like this
Uh-huh.
angel and stuff like that and that he'd do anything for her and yada yada yada. And then there's the other angle where with Iris where he's like I have to you should be with your family like in the whole diner scene where
Oh
he's like
yeah,
you
yeah.
should go home, you should this is no way for you to live and that sort of thing. So he does have there are like glimpses of this almost this person that wants like the like because my big reading of the movie because I read a little bit on it and then like watching it a second time I kind of picked up on more things where it's really what it is her at least to me it feels like a reflection on Vietnam and what it did to the actual like American society and how people are still trying to hold on to that kind of more that not throwback but that older kind of sensibilities
Mm-hmm.
and how that with Travis wants that with both Iris and Betsy. But both of those scenarios end badly. Well, depending on how you take the the ending, both those scenarios end badly, showing kind of like the futility of trying to go back and save the past and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Which like that's sort of interesting. But I also read readings where the film's just about loneliness, which I think that's obvious, but it doesn't bring anything more to the film than just
Yeah, like
kind of this.
it doesn't go any deeper than he's just a lonely ass dude.
Yeah,
Which I kind of like that too, because not everything has to be like, um,
super deep.
yeah, not everything has to be this big deep reflection of American society. Like I could definitely see that too, um,
Hmm.
but like, I kind of like that it's more just he's just a messed up dude, or not messed up, but like maybe he has some sort of mental illness that at the time like
Hmm.
would have easily just gone, shoved underneath the rug. They would have never explored uh, that sort of like mental state or whatever.
Right.
I didn't understand. I don't know if I missed something, if I fell asleep, or like what happened, but I don't understand the scene where he shows up to shoot that politician. Like, what was he gonna do? Like, he was gonna shoot him, and
It's
then what was he trying to prove?
it's never really explained in the movie what he's why like what his intentions are.
Yeah.
Like when like I said when I like looked into the movie more and stuff like that because I halfway through the movie I'm super confused at like why everybody loves this and what's going on and like what all this stuff is. And like apparently like there's supposed to be parallels between what happens at the end and with sport and with the politician where he's trying to free these women from his view of these oppressors,
Okay.
but it never comes across in the movie that that's what's happening. It's just he loves Palantine, loves Palantine, loves Palantine,
Yeah.
now wants to kill Palantine,
Yeah.
or like get completely armed to the teeth and like all that sort of stuff. It is a major jump. It doesn't. Yeah, I'm with you where it's like, where does this come from? What's
I,
going on?
yeah. I don't know if I was like, because I okay. So my idea was he was going to he was gonna go in there and he was gonna kill uh the politician to like win the Betsy back.
Yeah, that's what it like almost seems like, but
Yeah.
it doesn't ever say it.
So I was like, okay, is that what his plan is? He's gonna go and he's gonna kill this guy, and then it shows him he goes back to his room, and he's like all stressed out, and then is it the next scene where he goes to go like save Iris, and he like goes and shoots everybody there? So it was like
Right,
immediately after he like
so
he goes home, he's
what
like,
happened?
ooh, and he changes his plan.
Well, like there's the first time he goes to the place with the where he talks to the guards or not the guard, the Secret Service guys.
Yep.
And then he goes, but I think he goes home and then gets stressed out, and then like shaves his head and whatnot, and then directly after not trying to kill the guys, he goes and he kills the rest of them.
Yeah, he kills everybody else.
Because he talks to Sport, and Sport's like, "Do I know you?" And he's just like, bang.
He just shoots his ass. Yeah. I was confused on that.
Right. I generally think the movie doesn't really have any sort of redeeming characters at all, other than like maybe Iris.
Yeah, maybe.
Because like the movie is very cold and very kind of like lonely and desperate, and it's sort of like darkness.
Well, yeah, when he's talking to her, she doesn't want to be out of it. Like, she's like cool and okay with everything that's going on. Like the first time that they're talking.
Right.
Or is it when they're at the diner and he's like, "Yeah, you need to go home. You need to be their family, whatever." And she's like, "No, I'm good." Like,
right.
So she seems okay with it. So it's not like, I don't know, like he just goes there to do it because he wants to, or yeah. So
yeah,
I was
it's like
confused.
everything's driven by what Travis wants, not what anybody else wants. And even in the ending explores like what happens when he gets it. When he gets what he wants.
Yeah,
but,
yeah. She's gonna talk to him, and that's what he wanted before. And because he says like, "Why won't you talk to me? Why won't you talk to me?" And then at the end, she's gonna talk to him, and he's like, "So long," and drives off.
Yep. This movie, like the cinematography and stuff like that's cool, but other than that, like the story and the characters are kind of almost secondary to like what they're showing. Even though like people love this movie for like, I'm still perplexed. Like I saw this one thing where Travis Bickle was like on like high up on a list of like best villains or whatever, and I'm like, he's just like, he's not even really a villain. Well, he is a villain, but he's not like, he doesn't have like motivation to, or he does, but he doesn't have motivation to be a villain. It's never really explored.
Yeah. Well, so when I was watching it too, I was like, who is like the bad guy in the movie? Like that seems, every movie's got a bad guy or whatever.
Right. Yeah.
So I would say that he is the villain, but
he's the protagonist.
Yeah.
There's no real antagonist unless you count what he views as like the underworld and the scum that he thinks that the storm should wash away and all that sort of stuff.
Oh yeah, so the beginning, like him writing in the journal and talking about the scum and like shit like that. It's like, this is Watchmen. Like this is 100% the beginning of Watchmen.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah. I guess I never really noticed that like that connection before when I watched Watchmen. I never really like, oh hey, this is homage to Taxi Driver or whatever.
I think with Taxi Driver, I think one of the reasons it's so highly regarded is because of all the things it inspires, like with Joker or Watchmen or any number of different things that you can think of. But I don't, as a work standing on its own and viewing it as a work of fiction, I think it's not as good as everybody tends to think it is, other than people that love to just analyze the ending and try to like people that like analyzing film and stuff like that and trying to break it down.
Yeah, so it could also come back to like how we're viewing it. It's shit almost 50 years old, right?
That's true.
Yeah, so it's a totally different
it's like 45
time.
45 years old. Yeah.
It's a completely different time. It's everyone's head's in a different space now. I bet when it came out, it was probably like, holy shit, like this is real stuff that could happen. Like, how many taxi drivers are there in New York City, and how many of them are potentially deranged? You know what I mean? Like,
right. Yeah, that's true.
So I could see that for sure.
Yeah.
If they remade it today and it's a bunch of Uber drivers, and they all have like 15 guns, you wouldn't even like blink your eye at it. You'd be like, all right, what else is new? Like
right.
So I could totally see that.
That's such a good point too, that the film is older and we're viewing it in 2020 context.
Yeah, and a completely different light than it was when it came out.
Yeah, especially we weren't there when the movie came out and the kind of environment and everything like that.
Yeah, like
Reviewing it,
imagine like if you're, you know, you're a hip 20-year-old or something, you're going to the theater in 1970s and like Taxi Driver's playing. Like that would be fucking crazy. That would be like, I don't know how to even draw a
yeah, it would
parallel
be
to
like
that.
holy, it's yeah, I don't know.
You know what I mean? So that's
It's
probably
like
where a lot of hype
yeah,
comes from.
yeah, that's true. It's kind of that. Yeah, that's a fair point that I hadn't ever really considered. Is it's pure or during like the time period is why it kind of is considered that way. It's an interesting way to view it too.
Yeah, that's. I think my favorite bits in the movie are definitely like first meeting Harvey Keitel and him just being like, "You're a funny guy," and like I don't know why I like that so much. His long hair and like his pants are so high up.
They're very
Like that whole look is great. He's got that long hair. He's got like one long pinky nail.
yeah.
So it's like he's just a straight pimp, and like, I mean, he's not a good dude by any means, but like, I don't know, his character is kind of cool. I really like that. I like that the movie theater thing of him going in that dirty movie theater. Something about it was just like, wow, that was like him asking for what he asked for, a Coke or something, and he's like, we have a Royal Crown. Like, fuck, that sucks. That's a horrible feeling. But him only paying $3 for all that stuff is like, man, I would give anything.
Yeah,
Even before, even before like the COVID stuff, like I was going to the movie theaters a lot, and each time I was like, I'm gonna pay full price for this stuff. I'm not gonna sneak a snack in. Fuck that. I work full time. I can pay full prices. But man, I'd give anything to buy a drink and a bunch of snacks for $3.
I know, yeah. Well, it's the same thing with like even if you go back even farther into the prices and stuff like that, where you can pay like a nickel and get a Coke or whatever.
Oh yeah, yeah. Did they talk about the prices of the food when they're in that diner?
No, I don't. No, they're talking about like the other cabbie like getting attacked.
I think that's where that's another part where
Fell asleep.
that's another part where I might have dozed off. Because I remember him in there, and I remember that dude calling him shooter or killer or something. He had like the little glasses on as he's walking out, and he's like super sweaty. You can tell he's just stressed about something. Like,
Right.
I think I could have swore they were talking about food. Maybe I was just thinking about food. No, I'm gone! My cab! Who's gonna drive my cab?
You've been replaced by a self-driving car.
My cab! No!
Oh my god.
Oh no, I think my camera died. Hang on.
How?
Oh no. My cab. You just see me dissolve out. That's... Oh, it won't turn back on. What the fuck? Uh-oh. I might be in trouble.
Well, before we started, I can't even get in or get out of my cab, so no. There's that.
Technical difficulties. Let me plug it.
Yep.
That's so funny. Holy shit, that's
Oh god.
hilarious.
I don't even know.
It shouldn't be hot either, is the thing. Oh, and it's kind of warm.
Maybe the dead pixel ate all your other pixels.
Oh my god.
Maybe it was a zombie pixel.
I'll scream.
Maybe. I don't know. Okay, so first we're gonna share this. And if our audience and possibly Ricky can see this,
I can still see it, yeah.
we are showing the now available 2020 films ranking, and because we've only seen Taxi Driver, that is at the top of our list for 2020 films.
I would like
films with
yes, I would like to put Taxi Driver as the number one film of 2020 that we watched in 2020
Okay.
for the show.
The motion carries.
Okay.
Okay. And then, let's see. Do you see the next one?
Nope. I just see now available 2020 films.
Okay, hang on 1 second. I gotta figure that out then. I gotta stop sharing, then I'll share again.
Yeah.
Stop sharing. Share screen. Next we have now available Netflix films. So every film we've watched that was on Netflix when we watched it. This is the next ranking.
Oh, okay.
So
I like this.
the second one is by service. So when we watch a movie from a different service, we'll rank each of the services on their own. And so the first one is Netflix. So where do you think Taxi Driver should go for that one?
I think Taxi Driver should be number 1 on the now available Netflix films, because it was on Netflix and we watched it.
We second that argument.
All right, perfect.
That makes sense to me. Perfect. Okay, and now for our last ranking.
Mhm.
The last ranking, if I can pull it up. Let's see. And so our final way of ranking films is that we shall be ranking films.
This is his all-time.
Every single one that we ever watch in this podcast will go into this ranking. So will be however many episodes we do, that's how many films will be on this list.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's going to be a nice big list. So we've got that. And would you like to nominate Taxi Driver for a position on that list?
So this would be like the overall, your leaderboard.
Overall, yep, it's
Okay.
the leaderboard. Now available leaderboard.
So on the now available leaderboard, I think Taxi Driver should be number 1.
Okay.
It's
What?
It's a timeless picture. Harvey Keitel's in it. You get that famous line. He says, "You talking to me?" And
how do we not cover that? We just.
I knew that line long before I knew this movie. I used to say, "Are you talking to me?" like all the time. I had no idea why I would say it.
Oh, I think that's the case for most people because I did the same thing.
Oh, okay, perfect. Maybe we're all taxi drivers.
That's true. We're all taxi drivers.
That is true. I love that I'm gone. I think that's the fun. That's so fucking funny. I'm on my lunch break right now, so I'm currently not in my Uber.
You're leaning up against the hood of your Uber, eating a cheeseburger or something.
Yeah, I'm drinking a Coca-Cola right now.
No, we only have RC.
When I worked at this Greek restaurant, we had RC, and I always mean like, what a bizarre choice. Like, you can have Coke or Pepsi. I will have RC. Like, it was bizarre to me. I don't know. If you like RC Cola, shout out to you.
It's probably like a money thing, where they want to save money.
Oh yeah, or maybe it's more expensive, and they're like, we're gonna splurge and get the good stuff.
But nobody likes RC Cola though.
But nobody likes. All right, so we did the ranks.
Yep.
Where can people find one Adam? That's you.
So they can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Howard AK88 or at Starroom Studios.
Hell yeah. And you can find me when I'm not in my Uber. Instagram, Twitter, and Twitch at Ritz Khalifa. I be tweeting a lot. And that's all right, so now we got one last segment, and that's to hit the randomizer on our virtual movie book club. This, of course, is going to be Hulu.
So let's see what we've got.
Here we go. Come on, give me something good.
Into the Deep.
Okay, so
An underwater explanation. Do we want to try again? Sitting
Oh,
at
so yeah.
4 minutes.
yeah, so let's do it 3 times, and then of the 3, we can pick the best one. Because, like, 34
Okay.
minutes, come on.
The Quake.
Okay.
A geologist races against time to save his estranged wife and 2 children when a devastating earthquake strikes Oslo, Norway.
Alright, so
So
the
I
first
think
one... That's, like, the
the
first
first one's
movie.
this is the first movie, okay?
Okay.
The Quake. Conan the Barbarian with Jason Momoa.
Hell yeah! Alright, hang on. I'm writing these down.
Okay.
Conan, 2011. Alright, last spin.
Diane is a devoted friend and caretaker, particularly to her drug-addicted son. But as those around her begin to drift, something.
Okay, and Diane. Alright, so my vote is for Conan the Barbarian, 2011.
I would like to second that vote.
Alright,
Conan
hell
the
yeah.
Barbarian 2011 will be the next film we cover in Now Available. I just need to write that down so I don't forget it.
Yeah, so make sure you watch the correct Conan the Barbarian.
Yeah, watch the one on Hulu.
This is available on Hulu.
So if you have Hulu,
this is the whole point of the show.
Watch it. Yeah, that's the whole point of the show, is so you don't have to go out and rent movies. You can just watch them as we watch them in whatever catalog of streaming services you may have.
True. All right, well, so I think that's about it. That wraps it all up.
Yes, indeed. That would be all for our show today.
That will be all for our show. All right, well, I'll see you next week.
See you next week on Now Available.
Bye-bye.